Good morning. I may be more emotional as I age, but today was one of those emotional days. My brother Chris Marley picked me up this morning and we drove together to stand in the Patriot Guard Riders flag line for a Vietnam veteran who had passed away way too soon. We didn't know the brother, but we did know the need to stand and honor his memory. There were 11 of us on that cold morning who found our way to Main Veterans Cemetery in Augusta. As we began to arrive and greet one another, we all sensed how good it was to be a part of saying we remember to one of our own, a brother we'd never met. The Army Honor Guard came and spoke with us, and we thanked them for their service. We spoke a little bit about the Patriot Guard with a Sergeant First Class who will soon retire and wants to join with us. Our road captain laughed as he told the sergeant how I had been tapped to officiate at my very first PGR because the family's minister failed to show up. Then we all made our way to the front of the chapel, formed two lines flanking the entrance where the deceased would be carried in. The breeze was cool, but just enough to keep our flags flying as we waited the funeral coach with its precious cargo. Sergeant First Class said the funeral director came out and approached me and related how this family had no minister. The funeral director had been unable to contact the chaplain at Togus and wondered if I would be prepared to officiate with 5 minutes' notice. My father's words echoed in my ears. Need to be ready to preach, pray, or die at a moment's notice. I agreed and handed my flag off to another rider and entered the chapel. As I stood at parade rest, somewhat behind the family, I could not help but be drawn to the emotion. Grandchildren were weeping, and sons or daughters' red eyes from many hours of grief were trying to console one another. I only remember that I offered a prayer, some words of comfort for a brother I had never met, and the 23rd Psalm. Then I turned, saluted the casket, and went to stand with my PGR crew. After the funeral coach was loaded, the PGR team was marched off and on our way. But I had laid my leather jacket behind a column, so I dropped back to get it. I'm glad I did. A fellow Vietnam veteran, good friend of the deceased, came and thanked me, and then several other friends and relatives came also. I hope my simple words helped some. Nothing can erase the deep-seated grief and lost lives, not today. Often, I do not go out to lunch with the PGR. Finances tend to limit that, but today I was blessed to be able to eat and treat. That doesn't always happen, but thankfully today I did. We all headed up to Ruby Tuesdays in Augusta for burgers and fries and whatever else we wanted. Our waitress was named Brittany, very pleasant young lady who efficiently got the order for that large group and set about feeding this hungry horde. As we finished up, one of the PGR showed his veterans card and asked if Ruby Tuesdays gave veterans discounts. They were happy to oblige. Then she said something that brought the emotions to the edge again. You were there to escort my brother Jay home when he was killed in Afghanistan. As I said, I'm getting older, I guess. The emotions are a bit closer to the surface these days. And I choked back the tears and said it was our honor. I noted to the brother on my left hand that made 2 times today I nearly lost it. And he said something that made me stop and ponder. No, he said, you didn't lose it, brother. You found it. Harley Richard Fraser Jr., farewell. May you rest in peace. Captain J. Brainerd, your memory is carried on by many, and it is once again our honor to let your family know you are not forgotten. Rest well. Rest well.